Hello, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV. This is your host, River Foxen, and we're about to talk to Baderon again to get our first quest of the main story. Anyway, let's talk to him. And the quest is Close to Home. Baderon, proprietor of the Drowning Wench, wants you to perform 3 tasks that will help you learn the fundamentals of adventuring. Right then, let's start you off nice and easy with 3 tasks what'll help you get used to life here in Limsa. Firstly, if you head down a floor, then point your nose to the west, you'll get an eyeful of the great glowing crystal in the middle of the courtyard. That's an aetherite, a device what can move you from one place to another in the blink of an eye. Ain't no swifter way to travel, providing there's an aetherite where you want to go, of course. Have a chat with the Yellow Jacket on guard down there, and you'll be treated to a lecture on the workings o' the device. Before you do that, though, remember to touch the thing. Strange as it sounds, it won't work till you have. Second, on the list is the marketplace. You'll find weapons and armor and all your venturing bits and pieces for sale in the district what lies beyond the aetherite. Don't go throwing your gill around just yet, though, or you'll get fleeced quicker than you can say, "Why's me coin purse so light?" Have a word with Swazblade instead. He's the head of the Merchants League, by the way. Give him this old octant, and he'll treat you well. For the last of me helpful hints, I suggest you meet some fellow spell singers at the Arcanist's Guild. I guarantee you'll learn a few new tricks for your tome if you decide to join their crew. Muri at the front desk is the one to get you started. Got all that, lass? Seeing to them 3 tasks will take you on a little jaunt around the city and help you work out where everything is. Now I'd best be getting on. Run along, eh? Bugger it. There I go, sending you off without telling you something crucial. That bloody calamity's made a right mess of me memory, I swear. Well, that or the ale. Any road, while you're out, if you happen to pass any poor sods what look like they might need your help, consider giving their tale of woe a listen, eh? Sounds like a chore, I admit, but you never know what interesting opportunities could be lurking out there, just waiting for you to stumble on them. For example, Ninia over yonder's been casting glances at you since you waltzed in. Why not lend an ear and see what she has to say? You're like to find yourself running odd errands in the beginning, but once you build a reputation as a woman folk can trust, the jobs will get harder and the rewards more generous. If you've the time, I'd also seek the advice of the smith here and the wench. The lads as bear that title have some fine advice for them what are just starting out in the profession, and that, my girl, is how you go about becoming a legend among adventurers. To leave the Drowning Wench, you must accept the quest Making a Name by speaking with Ninia. Alright, we have another tutorial, but I don't need to read that. Yet another tutorial. Alright, so before we can even leave, we're going to need to talk to this person with an exclamation point over their head. Alright, well, let's see what she has to say. Level 1 quest, Making a Name. Ninia, a veteran adventurer, has some information that might be of interest to you. Alright. Well, would you look at this? A shiny new adventure. Listen close, lass. I've got some information that might just help put you on the map here in Limsa. I was passing through Bulwark Hall not long ago and saw a bunch of herbs just scattered about on the ground. Now, I'm not entirely certain, but I think they might have been the black market wares known as dream flowers. Limsa Lominsa is a busy port, and not all the merchants that blow in across the strait are above board, if you know what I mean. How'd the plants end up in the mizzenmast? Who knows? Might have been a deal gone bad. The important thing is that you make a name for yourself by handing them in. Speak to Scanrail, and she'll get you down to the first floor. Then all you have to do is pick up the herbs and take them to Aldskiff at the Octant. Being a worldly captain, he knows a thing or two about such shady goods. So yeah, some of these names you notice are a little difficult, and that's because this race, the Rogadin, who are the kind of big, somewhat greenish-looking people, they all have names that are kind of inspired by Welsh names, and Welsh names are difficult. You wish to visit Bulwark Hall below? The Crow's Lift is ready when you are. Alright, and yep, another tutorial. Alright, so we've got these peculiar herbs here. So, I'm going to pick them up. Oh, and now you're seeing that we're not alone in this area anymore. So this area here is always really crowded because this is near the Aetheryte and the markets. So a lot of people are going to be going back and forth between those. But anyway, let me talk to this guy, right? Aldskiff. Yes, I am Aldskiff. You have some herbs you wish me to examine? Alright. Yes, handing over items. It is still a tutorial after all. I'm going to hand those over. Yes, as you suspected. These are the highly illegal blooms known as dream flowers. They are the prime ingredient in the creation of somnus, a substance whose fragrance is said to lull the sniffer's mind into a sleep of death. Forgive me, I could not resist the jest. These herbs are not more than Althic lavender, a common enough export from Limsa Lominsa. In fact, these probably spilled from crates that were loaded onto my very own ship. I think someone has been having a bit of fun with you, miss. But not to worry, you've learned a few things and made a new acquaintance. Well met. Alright, well, we did get a reward and a level. So, right now, levels are going to come very quick for me because up here, I have this in effect, the road to 70. So basically, because I am a newbie, the game is basically giving me a big experience boost up until I hit level 70, which is, I mean, my alt, which is almost to max level. Max level in this game right now is 80, and my alt is level 79, so that's going to be big. That'll mean that I won't need to grind as much, because I won't be hitting the experience limit for new quests very often. Anyway, let's move on to the other quest that we have, which is close to home. So first we have to attune to the Aetheryte. Alright. Ah, another novice adventurer. Aye, Baderon has sent more than a few of your kind this way of late. I am Sundimal, one of the Yellow Jackets, tasked with keeping the peace in the city. It is also my charge to provide guidance in the use of this device. Fear not, I shall be brief. Aetherites are crystalline structures that tap into ethereal energies. They are primarily used as a means to travel swiftly from one place to another. Return and teleport, the most common transportation spells, make direct use of the Aetherites and their connection to the flow of Aether. And, as these devices are found in almost every corner of Eorzea, any adventurer worthy of the name will wish to seek out and attune herself to each one. Once you have expanded your horizons beyond the walls of the city, you will soon find yourself performing the act of attunement as a matter of course. There is, however, no need for unseemly haste. The Aetherites found in and around the city will be sufficient for the present, I assure you. Should you wish to learn more about aetherites or transportation magic, I will be here to answer your questions. You attune with the aetherite. You are now able to use the return spell. Alright, so yet another tutorial. Anyway, let's move on to the next thing. We have to go to the market. So yeah, a lot of people. And as you can tell, it is Christmas time. Alright, let's talk to Swazblade. A fine day to you, madam. Welcome to the most replete marketplace in the grand realm of Eorzea, where every shelf groans under the weight of wonders born from all four corners of the world. Pray, browse the stalls until your eyeballs ache from ogling the overabundance of unbelievable bargains. Now, as much as I would love to elaborate upon the unrivaled quality of our merchandise, I must tend to some cargo but recently arrived at the docks. You bear a gift from Baderon? Whatever could it... Ah, my octant! By the navigator, I must have left it behind in the wench, along with a week's pay and several bells' worth of intoxicated memories. Alright. So... I am most grateful to have it back. This tool is a keepsake from my days as a ship captain, you see. Needless to say, your good deed must be repaid, and what better recompense than the wisdom of a master merchant? It is simple and sturdy adventuring equipment you seek. You need look no further than the east and west arms of Hawker's Alley. Lest you doubt, each gil you invest in arms and armor will be money well spent. Adventuring is, after all, a dangerous profession by its very nature. It goes without saying that Hawker's Alley boasts stalls specializing in the tools of every martial discipline imaginable. And within but a few steps are bazaars and apothecaries that will most amply supply all your potion and perishable needs. Our keen-eyed agents procure a frankly befuddling range of wares during their sojourns to distant shores, so it pays to become familiar with the type and price of the goods offered by each stall. Such knowledge will serve you well if your purse is light or your time is short. But verbal instructions of this kind will only profit you so much. Experience has ever been the surest teacher, if not the kindest. I invite you to explore the markets for yourself. Alright. So actually, for the most part, the markets are not that useful, at least when you're starting out. And that's because you're going to get so much gear from doing the main story quests that you won't actually need to buy gear. However, when you start leveling your second job or third job, or you want to do the crafting jobs, then you might end up finding yourself needing to buy gear. But for your main first time through, you don't need to do very much. Anyway, we're going to the Arcanist skill. So Limsa Lominsa, if I bring up the map here, is actually a really confusing place. It's got like upper and lower decks. We're on the lower decks right now, and especially this area here, it's very confusing. So it's really easy to get lost here in Limsa Lominsa. However, I have played the game enough that I'm pretty familiar with the layout. So anyway, let's go here to the Arcanist skill. And we're going to talk to Muri, the guild receptionist. Welcome to the Arcanist Guild. It is here that we research and develop the field of Arcanima. Arcanima is the science of employing arcane geometries. intricate patterns that map the unlocked mysteries of existence to draw forth and manipulate the body's etheric energies. But if I am not mistaken, you already possess some rudimentary understanding of the craft. Shall I deepen your knowledge of our history as well? The roots of Arcanima can be traced back to the esoteric calculations performed by the people of the South Sea Isles. It was these island folk that first discovered a method to express natural phenomena in mathematical terms. Building on this process, the existing mathematical formula were further developed into arcane geometries, precise patterns that allowed a practitioner to weave aether into specific magical effects. The mages who invoked this new form of magic became known as arcanists, and the School of Arcanima was born. Many such mages, wishing to expand their understanding of the world, took to the seas aboard trading vessels. Upon their arrival in Limsa Lominsa, the arcanists found themselves welcomed into the academic elite and soon secured positions in the realms of governance and council. The knowledge of an arcanist, however, is traditionally passed on from master to chosen disciple. As such, Admirable Merwib, counting several wielders of Arcanima among her personal staff, became concerned that this exclusionary practice would lead to the eventual extinction of the art. So, at the Admiral's express orders, an official Arcanists Guild was established, and funding was provided for research and training. The complex and demanding nature of Arcanima, however, remains the greatest threat to its own future. If you would continue your study of this challenging discipline, then I must insist that you indicate your commitment to joining our guild. Alright. So at this point I can actually start that quest of joining a guild by talking to her again, but I'm going to do that later, so for now I'm actually going to go back to Baderon. Oh, there is something here I need to... Oh, yeah, that was going the wrong direction entirely. I need to go touch this here. So these are aether nets that get you around the city, and once you get them all, then you'll be able to kind of quick travel around the city. I'm going to quick travel back here, close to where Baderon is. Alright, get my bearings, there we go. I haven't decided how I'm going to approach side quests yet. Like, will I do them like as they're available, or will I try to do them all later? Will I try to do them in an order that makes sense? I haven't decided that. Right now we are sticking with the main story. Ah, there you are, River. Enjoy your jaunt around the city, did you? If you mean to base yourself in Limsa Lominsa, that won't be the last time you'll visit them three places. And now you've got some idea what's where, you can start exploring the rest of the town. You've shown a good ear for listening, lass. Stick with old Baderon and you'll go far. All right. Alright, and here is what I was saying about level locked quests. We actually cannot move on to the next quest until we are level 4. So I'm actually going to do the guild quest that I had just walked away from earlier, but we're going to do that in the next episode. So if you enjoyed this Let's Play, be sure to like and subscribe and click the bell icon if you're so inclined. And I'll see you later.